It's Christmas time, which means just one thing. Christmas videos where Izzy and Bryony can't sing. So get ready, cause you're in for a treat for 25 days. It's musical mess.
Hey guys, it's Bryony Rose here, and we're coming up to the last few days of Musicalmas, which actually makes me so sad. Like, when I started this, I was like, number one, I'm 100% not going to finish it, but I'm going to give it a go. And number two, I was like, I feel like everyone's going to get bored, and it's just not going to be great. But actually, you guys have loved it, and I've really enjoyed making videos, and I think actually, I've had that kind of like buzz to keep going because how much you guys are loving them. So we're nearly at the end, which is so mad to think about. What is it, like 25 days of videos, and we've only got what, 3 left, so it's crazy. But for today's video, actually I put on my Instagram, so make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram if you want to be more in on like video ideas and stuff, because I always ask for video ideas on there. I asked you guys for some video suggestions for what I should do for my last few videos, and one of you, I can't actually remember who it was, I'll put the little question thingy here, said I should do do's and don'ts of going to the theatre, and I thought this was actually a really good one. So let's start. So my first do is that you should buy a programme. Obviously, if you don't want to buy a programme, that's up to you. But for some people who like aren't sure if they want to or not, I always recommend you do, for like multiple reasons. Number one, it means you know exactly who you're seeing, in the sense that you know the cast. Obviously, it could be different based on like ensemble and understudies, but a lot of the time if you buy a programme, they'll include like an understudy slip. So it's really handy personally for me when I'm going back and looking at shows, especially when I was younger and I wasn't like taking photos of cast boards. It's always nice to look for a programme, and usually I have the slip in there, so it's really handy to look back. And actually there's been times I've noticed and I've seen someone perform who I've later seen when I'm older but didn't realise I saw them when they were younger. So really cool things like that. I think it's a great way to keep track of all the shows you see, and also then you get like a really cute collection. I generally have so many programmes, like it's insane. I'm quite bad though. If I've gone to see a show multiple times, I'll just get different programmes if like there's different casts. So I've got like 4 waitress programmes just because like one person changed. 6, I'm sure I have like 8 or 9, and it's just kind of, no, I've definitely got more than 8 or 9, bro, why are you lying? I must have like at least 15. So I'm pretty sure I literally buy one every time I go, which is up to you. Obviously, I don't say you have to buy loads, but I always think if you're going to a show once and you probably aren't going to go again, buy a programme, it's cute. They've also got cute pictures in them, and they just create little things to take photos with, you know, when you like at the show and you're like, oh, let me take a photo of my programme in the theatre. And yeah, that's kind of my first do. You should buy a programme. So my next one is going to be a don't. Don't sing along during the show. I'm going to use 6 as an example for this because I feel like a lot of you guys watching are 6 fans. And yes, we all know you probably have an angelic voice, and we all know that basically everyone knows about 90% of the lyrics. But there's a time and place for singing, and unfortunately the show is just not that. And you know what, we pay lots of money, like tickets are like up to like 60 quid to hear these amazing queens perform. We don't really want to hear your voice next to us singing. And you know what, I think singing's a great thing. I sing 6 all the time at home, but just at the theatre it's just quite annoying, and people don't really want to hear it. Also, which we're very fortunate about, for example with 6, they do sing-along versions. I've actually been really fortunate. I've gone to every single sing-along so far in the UK, which I didn't actually realise I had done. But I've seen the last 3 in London and the one on tour. I'm not, by the way, this streak's going to end because I'm not actually going to the next one in Manchester or the one in London. But so far I've seen all the sing-alongs, so it's a great opportunity if you do love singing, which I mean, to be fair, I can't sing, but I do bloody love singing. It's go to a sing-along, because then everyone's singing and it's fun, and like no one's gonna like get annoyed because you're allowed to sing. So my third one is do stage door. I love stage door. I think stage door is a great opportunity to just thank all the amazing performers you've seen and let them know how incredible they were. And I think it's great. Obviously it can be sometimes quite like not sure what to say kind of thing, and I think I may do a separate video on like stage door because I feel like it's kind of a topic in itself. But I absolutely love stage door, and as you know, basically in all my vlogs I stage door. If I can't stage door, I'm like absolutely heartbroken because I love it. I think you should, like, obviously if you've got trains and stuff to catch, then fair enough, but if you've got the opportunity to stage door, then definitely. And if you don't know where it is, just ask people. I've gone to so many new theatres and had no idea where it is, and you just ask and you say where's stage door, and then they usually just show you where it is, and you just wait. It takes like what, like 15 minutes sometimes 5 minutes, really depending on the show, and then they come out, and then you can either like get stuff signed and stuff, or you can just take photos and just chat. I do a bit of everything depending on how many times I've seen the show. So like Six, for example, obviously when I first started I was like, oh my gosh, can you sign my program and stuff. Now, like, obviously I've gone quite a few times, so sometimes I just chat. Obviously I vlog it, but usually it's just a conversation and a photo, because I like photos. I think they're cute. But yeah, no, stage door, I think stage door is such a fun thing. I know, especially when I've gone to shows on my own, I find stage door quite frightening, but I just speak to people. Like, generally, think about it, if someone's stage door, it most likely means they're passionate about the show, they like theatre, and they're kind of in the same boat as you. So just talk to them. I've made so many friends at stage door. Generally, most of the friends I've made have been at stage door. Shout out to you, Bryony and Quinn, because we met them outside and Julie at stage door, and then stayed at the stage door for literally 3 hours just talking, because we just ended up making friends. Because this is the thing, you end up having a lot of things in common with people when you're at like a mutual place like that. So yeah, I do recommend you stage door. It's lots of fun and you get to meet friends, so it's great. My fourth one, which is a don't, is don't eat during the show. I get it, we all get a bit peckish, you know, we all get a bit hungry, but there's an interval, and that's the place where you like have a snack if you want to. I generally have such a pet peeve for people eating. Like, I've never felt so annoyed before than when you sit down in a show, especially if it's like a kind of quieter show, you know, like, I don't know, let's say like Come From Away. You just sit, this actually happened in Come From Away actually, now remembering it. Whew. So you're just sitting there, you're enjoying the kind of calmness, and then just behind you or next to you, it's like, I need to get something to rustle. Here you go. It's like this, and I'm like, hello, her. Sorry, are we at cinema? Sorry, I didn't realise it was at cinema. And it's just this, and I'm like, are you? Oh, like, it's so frustrating because like I try to focus on the singing, the acting. I'm like getting myself into this musical, this play, whatever it is, and someone's next to me is just having like a snack, and I'm just like, that's so distracting. And it's so unnecessary. And also, I understand there's like some examples you may need to have something like to get your blood sugars up. I'm not talking about that, like that's a separate thing. I'm talking about general people who have no reason to eat, who just eat during the shows, and I'm just like, it drives me insane. I think this is generally why I like Six. Obviously I like Six anyway, but one of the things I found with Six, less people eat because it's a shorter show, which generally is a lifesaver, because I just can't deal with people eating in shows. Ugh. You know what also really annoys me? It's when people decide to eat things that are really rustly. So I can't remember where I was at now. I was at a show. Let's make up a show because I can't remember which show it was. Waitress. We'll say Waitress. It probably was Waitress, you know. And the person next to me had Celebrations. And I thought, are you kidding me? You've chosen the one chocolate. If you don't know what Celebrations are in America, I don't know if you have Celebrations. They're basically like, you know when you get at Christmas, you get like a tin of like lots of chocolates, and they're all like individually wrapped. It was basically that, but it was like the box set. It's not like Christmassy themed, you can eat them whatever. Anyway, so she had them, and then would open and take each individual one and like unwrap it, and I'm like, okay, if you're going to eat some popcorn, or like something that's like open, or like some like sweets, not okay, it just annoys me anyway. Don't eat, but if you're going to eat something that's not like wrapped, but each individual wrapped. I was just like, are you kidding me? So my next do go to the theatre on your own. I feel like there's such a thing about like not wanting to go to the theatre on your own. Like, I feel like a lot of people who want to go to theatre and don't have anyone to go with feel like they can't go on their own. But generally, I think going to the theatre on your own is like so fun. So I used to, before I met Izzy, I used to go to theatre all the time on my own, because there was a lot of shows I wanted to see that my mum didn't particularly want to see, and I had no one to go with, so I used to just go on my own. And actually, it's really fun. You make so many friends, and even if you don't, I feel like theatre itself, you don't need to like be sitting next to someone you know, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like it's the experience, you're watching something, you don't need to like communicate with lots of people around you, and like actually it's quite a nice experience to like deal on your own. Obviously there's some things like stage dooring can be a little bit like Like, I remember stage drawing on my own when I went to Manchester, and obviously I was holding a camera, and then when I wanted to take photos, I don't really like taking selfies, so I just like asked them politely, oh, could you take a photo for me? And they do. So actually you can get over a lot of the like barriers of like going to the theatre on your own if you just like ask a few people. But I think it's great. I feel like a lot of you have actually messaged me like what advice you have for going to a theatre on your own, and I would say just do it. Like, I feel like if you get over it the first time, it's a lot easier. I used to go to Matilda a lot on my own, because the tickets are really expensive. My mum didn't even like it. I was like, why would I pay for you to go when I can just go twice for the same price? And I feel like it's one of these things you kind of do just have to get over, and once you do it once, it doesn't feel so nerve-wracking, then you can just do it again and again. Or find a friend who likes theatre. There's actually, like, obviously I found Izzy through like outside 6, but like, especially if you're at shows and stuff, just chat to people, because a lot of the time, as I said, people end up having the same like passions and stuff, and you end up like bonding. Or like social media, I know, guys, cyber security, just be a bit careful when you talk to people on social media, but I met loads of friends actually via Instagram and stuff. You know, when you have like fan accounts and stuff for shows, I mean, not saying meet up, don't meet up with people on the internet unless you make sure they're definitely who they say they are, but that's also a great way of making friends, although be careful. So my fourth one is a don't, and it's don't film the show. Any show you've seen, unless it says you can film a show, don't film the show. I actually have this such problem with people filming, and you know what it is, right? Not only is it distracting for the performance, which like we all know is a thing, especially at the arts. Maya has said like more than one occasion how distracted it is for them when they're performing, seeing someone filming, but also for the people around them. And like, here's a personal story for you. When I went to Anne Juliet the very first time, so this was opening night with Izzy, we were sat stools, but we were like quite far back. We were maybe like 10 or 12 rows back, and 2 rows in front of me to the left, so like not reachable, which is what annoys me more. If someone was in front of me filming, I could just like be like, stop filming. The way I looked like I was gonna bash out the hands, I wouldn't do that, but I'd tap them and be like, can you stop filming? But they were like too far that I would have had to like stand up and like walk, and obviously not gonna do that during the show. But she just she got her phone out, right, and she just started just doing this, and I could just see her like tapping the screen, and I was just like, what is she doing? But it was in my eye view because she was on that side and she was filming like that way, so as soon as I would look, I can see her phone. And I don't know what more I was feeling, the embarrassment of being like, I'm next to someone, like I'm near someone filming, or like the fact that I was like, this is really annoying me because it's distracting my view from actually watching the show, because I'm more concerned about you filming and that you're doing something wrong than actually listening to what's happening. Because it was during it wasn't even during like an end song, it was during Stronger. That was it. Wow, that took a while. Yeah, it was during Stronger, so I was like really like getting into it, and I just was like, what is this woman doing filming? And you know what's funny, right? And I'm not, obviously I can't judge her because I don't know her, but she didn't even look like the type of person who would be filming it to like pull it up. She generally was just filming it because she thought she could film it, and that's more of like, I have a problem with like both, but like I think it's sometimes this idea where people just don't realise they're not allowed to film shows. So if you're watching this, you generally don't know that, that's perfectly fine, because you know what? Some shows don't actually have like a little intro beforehand, like Waitress does. I love Waitress 1. It's so great, their little like song they do before the show starts. And like Matilda and stuff have some, but like 6 doesn't, for example. And actually I've had a lot of people being like, I thought you could film 6 because it's like a concert. It's not a concert, guys, it's a show, you can't film it. But like someone like Anne Juliet doesn't, and sometimes I feel like if you've never gone to a show before, maybe you don't realise you're not allowed to film. Like other shows, for example, School of Rock, 6, Soho Cinders, don't think of any other shows I can think of. And Waitress, they will allow you to film the bows, or 6 is like the mega 6, which basically means like you can get your phone out and film, and that's completely fine. I feel like that's great. Followed by that, film that, that's cool. But don't film the rest of the show, because that's the point. You can't film the rest of the show, but you can film the little bit at the end. So my final do is like, just kind of be yourself at the theatre. Like, this is kind of a bit more broad, but I feel like there's definitely this thing where like people kind of aren't always themselves. So like, for example, I like to go in merch every time I go to a show, but I've noticed, especially just myself anyway, the last few times I've gone to 6, I've been like, actually, do I want to wear merch? Like, I feel a bit embarrassed. Why would you feel embarrassed? Like, you love a show, embrace that and show that. And actually, it's kind of fun to go in costume or go in like a 6 top, for example, because I do enjoy doing it, and I actually feel like me myself, I've kind of not wanted to as much because I kind of feel like everyone's judging me for it. So what if they're judging you? You've got an amazing top on, wear it and embrace it and be proud of it. And like people who like wear costume, I think is so cool. So like obviously I'm not gonna be like, go guys and make a costume, but if you've made a costume, wear it to a show. Obviously if there's like a prop or something that like is really high up, like I've seen some people have like giant crowns on. If you think like it's distracting for the person behind you, just ask them, is my crown really tall, can I still wear them? If they say no, then take it off. If they say yeah, then keep it on. Like I feel like jazz it up a little bit. Like the theatre's a fun place, and actually it's nice to be able to wear something theatre-y. Like I wear theatre merch literally all the time. I'm actually hopefully getting some more for Christmas because I've asked for some more. But like this, for example, I just wear this. Broadway, I love a bit of Broadway. Broadway's a cool place, you know. But yeah, I just feel like wear kind of what you want to wear. And obviously I feel like there's this kind of idea like at theatres you have to like have like nice clothes on. Like I remember this being a thing when I was younger, being like, oh, theatre's like a big going out trip, and I feel like it is to some extent, but some shows like 6, I just think wear what you want to wear, be comfy, have fun, go out, go for it. Also stand up, dance, obviously during the Mega 6, but like especially with the Mega 6 and stuff, like they encourage you to stand up. That's kind of the end of this video. I can't think of any more that I can think of. I bet you guys are going to comment loads of really good ones now, and I'm going to be like, that was a really good idea, didn't think of that. But they're kind of the ones I can think about, like my don'ts, like kind of pet peeves that I hate, and my do's are just kind of stuff that I feel like everyone should do because it's great. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe. And as I said, yeah, before, follow me on Instagram because I do like a lot of stuff about YouTube on there. So if you guys want to be involved in my next videos and stuff, make sure you give that a follow. And yeah, and I'll catch you guys for another fun video soon. Bye!